The invitation arrived on a stormy night, its edges frayed and the ink smudged from the rain. It was an invitation to Blackwood Manor, a place I had never heard of, from a relative I didn't know existed. The letter spoke of family ties and a desire to reconnect, but there was something about it that sent a shiver down my spine. Despite my misgivings, I decided to accept the invitation, intrigued by the mystery of it all. As I approached Blackwood Manor, I was struck by its grandeur and isolation. The estate was surrounded by thick woods, the trees gnarled and foreboding. The manor itself was a dark silhouette against the stormy sky, its windows like vacant eyes staring out into the night. I was greeted at the door by a servant who led me inside to meet my relative, a man named Edward Blackwood. He was a tall, imposing figure, with a coldness in his eyes that made me uneasy. He welcomed me politely but kept his distance as if afraid of being too familiar. That night, as I lay in bed, I heard strange noises echoing through the halls. Footsteps that seemed to come from nowhere, whispers that sent a chill down my spine. I dismissed them as the sounds of an old house settling. But as the days passed, the disturbances grew more intense. Objects would move when I wasn't looking. Doors would slam shut on their own, and I began to see shadows moving in the corners of my vision. I tried to rationalize it, to convince myself that I was imagining things, but deep down, I knew something was terribly wrong. Determined to uncover the truth, I began to explore the manor's history. I discovered that the Blackwood family had a dark and troubled past, plagued by scandal and tragedy. There were rumors of a curse that had been placed on the family generations ago, a curse that was said to bring death and despair to all who bore the name Blackwood. I also learned of a secret chamber hidden deep within the manor, a chamber that was said to hold the key to breaking the curse. Determined to lift the curse and free the family from its grip, I searched the manor for clues, finally uncovering the entrance to the secret chamber behind a false wall in the library. Inside the secret chamber, I found an ancient tome that spoke of the curse in detail. It told of a pact made with a dark entity, of blood rituals and sacrifices that had sealed the family's fate. As I read on, I felt a presence behind me, a cold breath on the back of my neck. I turned, expecting to see one of the servants, but instead, I was met with the ghostly figure of a woman, her eyes filled with sorrow and rage. She spoke in a voice that chilled me to the bone, telling me that I had unleashed forces beyond my control. Terrified, I fled from the chamber and made my way to the front door, desperate to escape Blackwood Manor. But as I reached for the handle, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang, trapping me inside. I heard the sound of laughter echoing through the halls, a cruel, mocking laughter that seemed to come from all around me. I knew then that I was not alone in the manor, that the spirits of the past were still very much present, and that I was their prisoner. With no way out, I knew I had to confront the curse head-on. I returned to the secret chamber, determined to find a way to break the curse once and for all. As I searched through the ancient texts, I found a ritual that promised to banish the curse, but it required a sacrifice. I knew what I had to do. I offered myself up as the sacrifice, hoping that my death would be enough to break the curse and free the Blackwood family from its grip. As I performed the ritual, I felt a surge of power, and then darkness enveloped me. When I awoke, I was lying outside the manor, the sun shining brightly overhead. I knew then that the curse had been broken, that my sacrifice had been enough to free the Blackwood family from its curse. As I walked away from the manor, I felt a sense of peace wash over me, knowing that I had helped bring an end to the darkness that had plagued the Blackwood family for so long.